I'll fix my couple of hairs I got just for you, mate.
No, it's looking good, mate. It's
Let's
all
go.
good. Nice and fresh. All right, so we're welcoming Alexander the Great Volkanovsky to Fight News Australia. Just a few questions ahead of your fight with Max Holloway this weekend. So how's the preparations going? What's it like coming over to Yas Island in the heat? I know you just came from winter in Australia. How you adapting? How you coping?
Man, it's fine. Obviously it is hot. If we go outside, it's really hot. But we're inside. We're indoors the whole time, and there's air conditioning everywhere, so it's good. So it's pretty comfortable. The process coming here was pretty good. Obviously, before I got on the plane, you might have heard about the difficulties we had. Like we didn't get exemption to leave the country till 6 hours before, and so there was a few obstacles before we got on the plane. But once we got on the plane, smooth sailing. So once we got here, everyone done a great job. And, it was, an easy process. Even though we've done the quarantine here, we got a couple of rooms next to each other. I've got the villa, had the mats in the room, got food delivered to us, all the water in, everything we needed was already here. And the hotel staff have been nothing but good to us. So it's been good.
I'm not sure what your normal process is for a weight cut, but do you have access to things like saunas or anything like that at the moment?
Yeah, well, usually if you don't have a sauna, you just got a bath and that. So they're not going to give you, we're not going to be able to use a sauna where other people can go into anyway. So they've gave every fighter their own one-man sauna. It's like a little tent thing that you can sit in, your head pops out, and it's pretty cool. So I'll probably use that. I might do a session tomorrow morning, do a light sweat out, and then I'll save the last little bit, maybe in a bath. We'll see how good that one-man sauna is. Or maybe I'll use that again. Or we could always use the hot bath and then just get wrapped up and watch some TV or something, get the weight off.
No problem. So yeah, well, I guess I'll talk a little bit about, or I want to talk a little bit about your training before you got to Yas Island as well. So you pretty much the whole camp was spent in Wollongong this time around. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was all right. I was still really good. Obviously, it's not the camp I usually do. I'm spending most of my time at Freestyle Fighter Gym, but I do bits of my camp in New Zealand. So, I only do anywhere from, maybe 5-6 weeks in New Zealand to, each fight, but the rest I'm usually in Australia. So people, sort of miss that. They always think that I'm obviously based out of a city kickboxing, but I'm here at Wingate Freestyle Fighting Gym all year round. So it still was different. You need them training partners, you know what I mean, high level training partners. So what we done was we just bring them all to us. So we literally got the best fighters in Australia to come to the gym and help me with camp. So I got a place for them to stay. I got cabins for them. We had like 6 literally staying on site, you could say, or around the corner. And, nothing but good bodies. And, obviously, we had Zoom chats to keep game plans going and communicate with the normal team that we usually have around us. So not much change besides the location and maybe a couple of trainer partners. But, as long as you've got good trainer partners, that's all you need. And I had nothing but very good trainer partners. So it was good. It was a very successful camp, especially in 6 weeks. I'm very happy with my fitness, strength. And, even when I come here, I can tell the boys are very happy with how sharp I am and strong and how fit I'm looking.
It's great to hear. Just speaking about the training partners, did you want to tell us a bit more about who you brought into the camp? I know a lot of Australian fans, Australian New Zealand fans probably be keen to know who was helping you out.
Yeah. So we had, Jamie Malaki come in. So he's obviously a past opponent of mine as well, and my cornerman that's here with me now, Brad. But, he's again, Aussies and New Zealand, obviously if we have to fight, we have to fight, but at the same time, we should stick together, and that's what we do. So, as they say, the Anzac takeover, right? So it's been good. So Jamie Malaki was there, Blake Donnelly, the AFC champ, Joshua Kulabau, another UFC fighter, Martin Ewan helped us. He was a one FC, one championship featherweight champion. We had guys maybe a couple of kilos heavier than me, like a couple of divisions, but good bodies to move with. Cody, Trent Girdham, mate. There was a few of us. Alan Philpott. So yeah, we had a few good bodies, and obviously I had a couple of my own training partners that are always at the gym, like Colby Thickness. And so, yeah, it was good. Some good Brenton Mumford come as well, another, former national champion as well, like, internal champion and that. So, mate, we had good bodies to move around. He's like probably a middleweight, heavyweight, you could say. So that was good.
And I know that you've got Eugene Berman in your corner, the mastermind of CKB. How's he doing? He's just coming off a fight or cornering Dan Hooker over in Las Vegas. Is he feeling a bit tired for all the travel?
I'm not sure. He seems all right, but it is a bit much, especially going there fight week and then having to wait a week, then going into my fight week, then most probably going into quarantine. So if he's not sick of it yet, he's definitely going to be sick of it by then. So I'm very thankful that he's still a part of this process for us, and he's here for me, and same as all the boys. Everyone that's here, it was a process, and again, there's a lot of protocols. So I'm nothing but thankful, and I appreciate what the boys are doing for me. But I'm going to make it all worth it by going out there and performing. Like I say, man, this is much bigger than me. I've got a lot of people that put a lot of time and effort into me, and that's why I need to win. That's why I refuse to lose.
And speaking of training camps, there's been a lot of talk about, well, mainly from Max Holloway, about him not doing any contact sparring or any contact training, I should say, all over Zoom. What do you make of that? And are you prepared for a prepared Max Holloway or?
Mate, look, of course he trained. Of course he had training partners. Again, it's a tricky one because we probably all know the reason why he's saying he did it. Because again, I don't want to put words in his mouth, and I don't want to get him in trouble. But maybe he's going to, you know what I mean? He's probably going to get in trouble if he said he did train because he didn't get exemptions. Maybe, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm not going to accuse him of nothing. But I guarantee you, we had training partners. And if he didn't, man, he's in for a long night. You know what I mean? And that's why, like I said, I've got a lot of people that put a lot of time and effort into me, and I'm thankful that I appreciate, and I'm going to win for them as well. And the direction he's going with how this camp went, he can't really, I think, again, if he's covering his ass, all right. But if not, if this is to cover his ass if he loses, if this is to get ready for an excuse or whatever it is, now, shows he doesn't maybe appreciate his tournament. But I mean, again, I'd highly doubt that's the case. I honestly think that, he might get himself in trouble. So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say too much on that, but I just know he's trained. I guarantee you he's been trained.
Okay, I don't want to push too hard because I know that in the first fight, both you and Max were very respectful, a lot of praise to each other. And it doesn't seem that it's gone too far the other way, but it does seem that there's a little bit more animosity this time around.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to? And do you feel anything different from Max this time around?
Yeah, a little bit. But again, it's just, I guess he doesn't lose. He hasn't lost very much. So maybe I haven't seen this side to him. But, making a couple of the excuses, trying to blame commentary, saying biased commentary for me, which, just little things like that. I just really, obviously, if anyone wants to fight it, anyone even went on social media straight after that fight, people couldn't believe the way the commentary were talking, you know what I mean? So yeah, obviously they'll bias, but not for me. That's where I'm going with that. But again, I'm not really butthurt about it, but I'm just having a little stabs at him as well, just saying he's been a bit salty, and him acting like the leg kicks weren't working and whatever, I mean, it's just I don't really take it to heart, but at the same time, it just looks like he's making excuses and narratives he's going on with. I just find it funny and surprising. I just didn't think he was really like that. That's why I'm like, oh, all right, it's a different side to him that I thought I wouldn't see. But, hey, losing is tough. So, I guess you can't blame him as well.
All right, and moving on to the actual fight. So UFC 251, it was originally supposed to be in Perth, Australia. At the start of the year, everybody was talking that it was going to be yourself and Holloway headlining the card. What do you make of the fact that it's been pushed over here? Given the gravity of the event, it's just a historic event. Are you happy that you get to come over here, or are you still a bit disappointed that you can't defend your belt in Australia?
Well, obviously it's disappointing that I can't find Australia, but because of what's happening, it's just I sort of again I always look at the positives. So, you know, that didn't happen, but now I'm in a bigger opportunity. This fight is absolutely stacked, and already was. Now you got Masvidal on the card as well. He obviously was a rightful #1 contender, and he's obviously a big draw card. So it's good. This is a good card. First fight on Fight Island, first fight card on Fight Island. You know, no sports happening right now. Huge opportunity to put on a show and, you know, really build that profile. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. And, you know, I just can't wait. And again, the biggest fight for me in this division is Max right now. That's why this fight needed to happen. You know, if there was a #1 contender that deserved it, I'm sure he would have probably got the shot, but there wasn't. So, you know, it was going to be Max. And, you know, I'm like, oh, whatever, let's do that. That's the biggest fight. There's still doubters out there. Let's just show them then. You know what I mean? Again, people say whatever they want, but, you know, at the end of the day, I don't really care what they say, because I know majority know I'm the best in the world. But let's prove them haters wrong, and let's prove my supporters right.
And how do you feel about fighting in front of a few journos and some UFC staff without the crowd there?
Yeah, look, man, I'm okay. I'm sort of looking forward to it now. You know, obviously, it's always good to fight in front of a crowd, but as I've said in many interviews before, that I'm really good at zoning that out and having a tunnel focus when I'm in the cage. So I'm pretty much in an empty stadium almost, you know, when I'm fighting, because I've got a job to do. That's all I focus on. So that's how it sort of is for me anyway. But now again, now you're going to see last fight we're back, you know, talking back and forth and things like that. So now people get to hear what we're saying. I'm sure we're going to be talking in there again. You're going to hear them connections. You know, it's just something, you know, it's real. It's something. It's so raw. You know, hearing the shots, hearing the talking, you know, hearing the heavy breathing, just everything. Hearing the cornerman. You know, again, it's we're fighting on Fight Island. Like, that's real Mortal Kombat type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I've said in previous interviews as well. You know, it feels like Mortal Kombat, and all that adds to it. You know, all that adds and it excites me.
I just want to talk a little bit about something that you just mentioned, that every time you go into a fight, you're kind of fighting in front of an empty arena anyway. That's something that you're known for, that composure. I know that even after you won the belt, a lot of people were sort of wondering why you weren't celebrating as much as some other champions sometimes do. So how do you cultivate that composure, and how does it help you achieve so much in the sport?
Well, man, obviously being able to be in control. That's a good way of putting it. Being composed, right? That's you being in control, controlling your emotions, controlling your mental, you know, your mental side of things, and then that obviously helps your physical. You know, if you're stressing and things like that, not only is that hurting mentally, even physically, that can drain you. So if you can be in control in all situations, it's pretty good. But sometimes when you need to celebrate and all that, that control still pulls you back to you know, that humble or that real level. Like I said, I'm always level. Even when I want to celebrate, I'm like, it's a world title, whatever. But, you know, obviously, you know, what excites me is seeing the people that are like, when my family, my friends, my team, when I bring that belt back to them and seeing, you know, that's what's real to me. Obviously, I want to celebrate, but seeing why I did this and then giving it back to my family, giving it back to my team, giving it back to my friends, and watching them, how much they appreciate it. And I'll be like, that's why I do it. You know what I mean? That means much more to me.
And just another note on sort of the same topic. As I said, it was likely that you two would have been the headline had it been in UFC, had it been in Perth rather. Now that you're the co-main event, do you feel a little bit of pressure's gone off you? Does it matter to you at all, or how do you feel about the main event slot?
I don't get pressure either way. I'm not going to get pressure. Again, it's a job to do, so that's no worries. Yeah, obviously, if you're main event, you get a lot more eyes on you, a lot more focus on you. But I mean, at the same time, being on a card like this, it probably weighs out the same anyway with the attention, except because you're on such a big card, you know what I mean? But being the main event on a card like this would be huge as well. But obviously, you start talking pay-per-views and all that, being on a card like this, that's pretty good as well. And, you know, I can take a bit of that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Great. And finally, what's your prediction for the fight? Do you think that you can get Max Holloway out of there? And how do you think you do it if you do?
Yeah, man. I believe I can finish him. I really do. Again, I'm not going to do nothing silly that's going to put myself in, stupid risk. Obviously, you need to take risks in there. The fight's going to be a high-paced fight. I know it is. I know the fight that Max is going to bring. So I'm ready. I'm ready to take him out. If he's going to come to me like that, he will leave a lot of opportunities. But I'm hitting pretty hard at the moment. I'm feeling strong. My control's no joke. So if I land some good ones and he goes to that floor, he ain't getting up. Even if his chin and he's as durable as we've seen, the ref's going to have to stop it because he's not getting up, and I'm going to keep punching the head through the canvas till the ref stops it. And again, this is what has to happen. I don't want to hurt the guy, but I need to win. I need that money. So unlucky for him, that's what I plan on doing.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Good luck. Good luck on Sunday morning. Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure we'll speak soon. Thanks so much.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
Cheers.